With diminished chords, one is all or nothing. With augmented chords, the other is all or nothing. So instead of that major third on bottom, minor third on top, like with major chords, or the minor third on bottom, major third on top, like in minor chords, with diminished, it's minor third plus minor third. So there is no major third. It's minor third and minor third. With augmented chords, there is no minor third. It's major third on top of major third. So in other words, they both exaggerate in their own directions. Whereas major and minor were a good blend of both. You had major on bottom, minor on top. With diminished, it's totally minor. That's why you get a really, this is in a horror. If you had a horror movie, wouldn't you want it to sound like that? Because of those minor thirds, there's no balance, okay? And then with the augmented chords, same thing. Now you get, sound like the Simpsons, doesn't it? Okay, because those are just major thirds. So let's go to the piano so I can construct it for you. So between here, we know that that's a minor third. But what happens when you put another minor third on top? What do you get? You get a G flat. Now here's where it gets tricky, because some people call this an F sharp. That wouldn't be correct, because the distance between E flat and F sharp, that's not a third. E and F, that's only two alphabet letters, E, F. You need a G, some kind of G, so that's why you have to call this a G flat. Okay, so now it gets into what black note you're using. Just follow the rules. If it's a third, it's a third, and I told you it's a third. So always have three alphabet letters in between your letters, and you can never go wrong. So C, E flat, G flat. That's a minor third and a minor third. So minor third on top of minor third will give you a diminished chord. Let's do the opposite for the augmented chord. Start with a major third, and now we're going to put another major third on top. Now what are we going to call this? Are we going to call this A flat or G sharp? We're going to call this G sharp. Why? Because the distance between E and G, we need three alphabet letters. E, F, G, not E, F, G, A. Because if we call this an A flat, you're introducing a whole other realm of alphabet letters. And this is not a fourth interval, this is a third interval. So that's why, in this case, you're going to call it a G sharp. So now you got C, E, G sharp. So those are the four main quality of chords. You got major, you got minor, you lower the fifth tone, that gives you diminished, and then you take a major chord and raise the fifth tone, and that gives you augmented. So diminished chord can kind of be created from the minor, and augmented can be created from the major. You just raise. There's a song that uses augmented chords. You hear that? That's a very popular progression where it just moves that finger up. Whereas with diminished chords, it's very popular too. You might go, that's a diminished chord. And you'll talk about that when we get into the DVD on Pattern Paradise, the third DVD in the collection. So those are your different qualities: major, minor, diminished, augmented. Major, minor, diminished, augmented. Those are your qualities, okay? From there, you can get into bigger things, and you're gonna get into bigger things with Mr. JP himself. He's gonna be introducing you to the extended chords and things like that. I'm only going to give you that foundation. He's gonna give you some specific chords in all 12 keys. He's even gonna review some of the chords you already learned to help you to add to them, okay? So that's why I didn't really take you to all 12 keys with these simple major, minor, dominant, diminished, because when he introduces the extended ones, you have to have the triads in the extended. They make each other. Repeat that after me. They make each other.